Hey, yo, what up, what up? What's good? What's good? Yeah, it's been a long time. Shout out to the graveyard shift. Shout out to the night shift. Uh, Shout out to the water guys. I live in Southern California, and we've had a lot of fires. We've had a lot of fires going on. We had a desert fire about like 4 days ago. And I see a lot of water guys out there working. They're putting in a lot of overtime, man. Out here in California, basically the entire state, in my opinion, is just a bucket of gasoline. It is what it is. I mean, you'll see people driving 18 wheelers and a chain of spark on the 18 wheeler, at a spark, and that spark can hit the side of the road, and boom, you got a 100-mile wildfire. That's just how dry it is out here. It is what it is. Shout out to everybody who are involved in wildlife. If y'all didn't know, I'm a wildlife advocate. I support wildlife. I'm a very big advocate of wildlife. As y'all know, I got dogs, and unfortunately, this summer I've seen three snakes. I seen one of them get ran over right in front of my eyes. I tried to save it, but I couldn't, because it was either me jumping out in front and getting hit by a car, or people hitting the snake, and they hit the snake, and it is what it is. So if y'all want to see the videos where I break down wildlife and renovations and mechanics, go check out my other YouTube channel called A11 Media Productions. A11 Media Productions. Over there, I get into all the stuff I do. There's a lot of things I do, hobbies and renovations and e-waste, all the nice, lovely e-waste art you see right here on that channel. That's where I break it down. And I have another channel called Mining for Metals at Home. Mining for Metals at Home. If you go to that YouTube page, I really do a long breakdown of e-waste. I break down TVs, I break down circuit boards, I depopulate. I do it all over there. That's like a very in-depth on all the metals on circuit boards, what to look for, how to save it, how to process it. So check that out. All right. So shout out to the night shift, shout out to the trolls, shout out to the graveyard shift, shout out to all of you. It's me, it's your boy Alpha, the first one. As y'all know, I'm a very unorthodox speaker. I don't try to go in a pattern. I just flow, I'm a Leo. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to flow. All right. And tonight's topic is a flow. It's something that I've been looking at because a lot of things have been going on. And you should see it on the screen. It's called prevention versus cleaning up. We need to talk about this. This is a very funny, serious topic. All right. It's funny. It's a funny topic because a lot of people think that this cleanup situation was going to continue on. They really thought that. I mean, God bless their hearts. A lot of people out there, men and women too, by the way. This isn't women centered or man centered. This is just society as a whole. A lot of people are finding out that the cleaning up is done. People are tired. I mean, this is not just in dating and mating, but I focus on just dating and mating. But this mindset of cleaning up after people, it's happening everywhere. It's all over now. People are sick of it. They're sick of cleaning up after people. They're tired of saying, I'm going to clean up after you, when you clearly have made the mess. You see what I'm saying? Just keep that concept in mind. So that's the funny part about it. The serious part about it is that we're having some real serious, real world implications in dating and mating. Absolutely. I mean, you see it, you hear about it every day. All right. A lot of people are in shock. They're like, my God, I really didn't understand that the men, and I'm focusing on men on this one, the men are not cleaning up. They're not doing it. They are not going to do it. I don't know what else to tell people. All right, what gave me the motivation to do this is the Passport Bros. Once again, the Passport Bros. You gotta love the Passport Bros. And I went on someone else's channel, and I won't say his name, but he's a good brother. I donated to this brother, and I don't like to give people negative publicity, so I won't mention his name. All right, but he is a very interesting podcaster. He used a lion as his profile picture. And I don't want to hint him out too much, but and my zodiac sign is Leo, so I don't know if he's a Leo or not. But the brother basically asked a great question. And he's like, why everybody's so upset with the Passport Bros? And he focused more on the game side of dating and mating, and that's fine. He's one of the game dudes, and I don't have a problem with that. But I told him in so many words. I told him, I said, the passport bros, they have decided to not be the cleanup men. That's it. I mean, that's about as simple as I can make it. I've heard all kinds of arguments against the passport bros. I've heard that they're gay. I've heard that they're lame, that they're goofy, that they're too short, that they're too skinny, they're too fat, they're too old, they're too young. I've heard that they're PDF, pedo. I've heard that they're rapists. I've heard that they're felons. I've heard that they're broke. They're brokies. I heard that they're brokies. I heard that they're dusty. I mean, I've simps, tricks, you name it. Everything negative that can be said about a man in terms of dating and mating and outside of dating and mating. I've heard them being called traitors. They're traitors of America. They're traitors. They should be excommunicated from. I've heard all kinds of stuff about passport bros, right? And what I love about the situation, which is so funny, is that the passport bros are saying what? I'll be all of that, and I still don't give a damn. That's what they're saying. The passport bros are saying, so be it. Oh well, call me all of that, and guess what? I'm still getting this passport, and I'm gone. Why? Because I don't want to be a cleanup man. See, so that's what we're going to focus on tonight because we got to talk about prevention versus cleaning up. And there's three things I want to focus on, just three basic things. I'm not going to be that long. I'm going to try to keep it short. All right. But we want to talk about why cleaning up is a reactionary thing. Cleaning up is a reactionary thing. Okay. We want to talk about when does the prevention starts. That's the second thing. When does prevention start in terms of dating and mating? See, in terms of dating and mating, prevention starts at a certain point, and I'm going to talk about that. And the last thing is every man has to make a choice. The society has to make a choice. And I just did a video on that. The question is coming. You can go check that video out. I dropped it where I said the question is coming. Are we gonna? Y'all know what I talk about, rules and reg. If you're new to my channel, I wrote a book about dating and mating as a system. Two competing systems in the world, just like economics. You have competing free market capitalism versus what? Communism, state-run, Rogerism, socialism, democratic socialism. It's all the same. Essentially, free market capital versus government-controlled economic system. That's all it is. It's free market versus communism. That's it. Those are the two competing economic systems in the world. They call it democratic socialism, socialism, Rogerism. That's all communism. It's just rebranded, renamed, re-hashtag, re-greased up. It all comes up to the same old thing, communism. That's it, which is what? State planned, state run economics. Seize the means of production. That's all it is. When you say people shouldn't have the right to own their own labor, let alone their ideas, just their labor alone, that's communism. Whether you voted in democratically, they killed me with that one. Well, we're democratic communists, so it's better. We voted in our oppressions. so that makes it better. You see, that's what Mao said when he killed millions of people. Yeah, that's what Mao did. Mao said, yeah, I was voted in too, and I'm killing millions of these people. That's what Stalin did. Look that up. Yeah, they voted them in too. Guess who else was voted in? That guy with that small mustache in Germany. Not going to say his name. He was voted in too, and he was a socialist. Absolutely. See, you got to pay attention to history. So essentially, I wrote a book about two dating and mating systems based on that similar concept in terms of just dating and mating. Meaning, if you have a free market dating and mating system, that means what? You have no rules and regulations. It's unregulated. Anything goes. Do what you want. right? That's what we have in the West. Now, if you have a quote unquote regulated market, if you pretty much tell the people you are not going to be doing this, you're not going to be doing that, that's similar to communism, right? Right? That applies in dating and mating as well. If you tell people, look here, we going to stop all this single mother stuff, it's not happening. We're not doing it. All right? We're going to start doing arranged marriages. We're going to start offering dowries. And we're going to start requiring virgin brides. Absolutely. That would be regulated dating and mating. It's happening all over the world outside of the West. Look up, many countries do it. I'll give you one quick one in the Philippines. What are they known for? Some of them Filipinos are known for what? They can fight like hell. Shout out to the Filipino men. There's a general who made a famous statement. He said, if I ever wanted to conquer the world, I'd just get a whole bunch of Filipino soldiers and I would do it. Shout out to the Philippines. All right, shout out to their former president that they sent him to Europe for some bullshit trial. Shout out to that brother. That brother said, I can't think of his name, but he said, you criticizing me for what I'm doing in the Philippines because they had a drug problem over there. He was cleaning it up. The drug problem. They had a meth problem, I think. That's what it was. He said, you criticizing me for cleaning up my people, getting them off drugs, but look how you treat the black man. Boom. He said, look how you treat the black man in America. Boom. Shout out to the Philippines. I got much love for the Filipinos. Much love for them. They men are known to be the fiercest men on the planet. But guess what else they known for? They don't have divorce. Boom. They ain't tolerating it. They take those vows seriously. I was looking up those vows today. I was looking up those vows. If you ever get some time on your lunch break, some of y'all listen to me at your lunch break, and y'all know how to listen to me. The best way to listen to me is put me on some headphones, go take a walk. Put me on when you're in traffic. If you're on the 405, that's a great time to listen out for the first one. E-Waste Dating Tips. That's the name of the channel. 811. 811 E-Waste Dating Tips by Alpha the First One. You'll find me under that. You want to be doing something when you listen to me. I always tell you to do something because dating and mating is what? Something that you do. But the Philippine people said, what? We're not playing all these games. We're not doing all this foolishness. All this back and forth, jumping out of marriage. What that boy name is? The rapper and the social media girl. I'm not gonna say no name because I don't want to give no negative, but she converted to Islam. I can't think of his name. Y'all know his name. They was married for 2 weeks out there. 3 weeks, and God bless both of them. Boy, that boy, I think his name is Kevin Gates. Shout out to Kevin Gates. That brother realized he took a rotten deal. He took a bad deal, and he jumped out of that marriage in a heartbeat. Yes, he did. Same thing with Jeezy. Shout out to Jeezy. I love Jeezy's first album. It's a classic. Go buy that Thug Motivation 101. That CD is press play. Just listen. People don't talk about that CD enough. But Jeezy did that with Jeannie Ma. Jeannie Ma, he got out of that bad deal with her. She's an Americanized Vietnamese woman. Now, shout out to Jeannie Ma. I will give her credit. Jeannie Ma said something that's very, very relevant to our conversation because we're talking about prevention. We're talking about rules and regulations, right? And Jeannie Ma said, when I go to Vietnam, I'm not the top woman. I'm actually the bottom woman. Boom. Yeah, she said that. She said, in America, I get props because I'm famous and I be on TV and, people like a little big head Vietnamese girl. That's her words. She got a pretty big head. Okay. She's very short too. She's like 4'11". She said, but when I go to Vietnam, I am not the top woman. I'm not even close to the top woman. Those women, when I go over there, I have to put my head down. They don't tolerate that. Why? Because they got rules and regulations. Boom. See how it works? They don't care how much fame you got. Okay, good. You can send a check home to the family. That's great. We'll take that. But guess what? When you come on our land, there's rules and regulations. And you are not the top woman. Boom. See how it works? My name of my book is called The GPS, No Regulation or Unregulated versus SPG, Regulated Dating and Mating System Concept. That's the name of my book. It's coming out pretty soon. Waiting on them copyrights. But I think I'm going to go ahead and drop it beyond that because I've been talking to some people behind the scenes about it, and they say you can drop it, but you would like to get it in the Library of Congress first. But right now, the Library of Congress got a backlog. So shout out to the Library of Congress. I'm not pressing them. It gives me time to work on the cover and all that. So it's a very unique book. When it comes out, I will let y'all know how you can purchase the book. Every book will get a custom signature from me, and it might be a custom surprise. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna put a custom e-waste art in there for everybody. I might do a symbol for you or something like that. I don't know. I'm working the details out on that. But basically, when you talk about rules and regulations systematically, what am I saying? It has to be in law. That's what my book talks about. They have rules and regulations in law. That's in law in the Philippines. They don't allow divorce. They let you separate. You can separate, meaning if y'all two got to separate because y'all can't be with no one another more, that's fine. They don't have a problem with that. But they don't let you go off and get another husband. They don't do that. Now, the man can go off and get another wife, basically. Now, I might be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. But they don't let the woman go off and get another husband. They don't. They do what's called what? One and done. That's it. That's code. I put that in my book. One and done. That's the best way to do it. It doesn't even make logical sense for a woman to get two and three husbands. That's insane. That's nuts. The wedding is for the woman. It's not for the man. You know, you got a lot of incels, and I'm saying it. I'm saying it, YouTube. If you're going to ban me, you need to ban me because I'm going to keep saying that word. That word is well known now. I don't know why I get flagged when I say it, but somebody else say it. And I'm speaking from an educational standpoint to help men to not be incels. All right. I'm not trying to demonize them. I'm talking about what they believe. All right. But you have a lot of these quote unquote incels, right? And essentially, uh, they go around thinking that I've even heard them saying stuff like, well, women should be able to get like two and three husbands and all that stuff. Well, that doesn't even make sense. So why would you advocate for something like that? Just because of your dating and mating status? That's ridiculous. One and done. That's it. One and done. You get one husband and that's it. So no, you should not be, the woman should not be allowed to marry another man because that's all he can get. No, I don't support that. Put on your big boy pants and go get a woman who hasn't been married. Look how unfair that is to other women. Now let's look at that. If you allow women to go around getting two and three husbands, right? And the logic is because, well, those men are willing to take these women, quote unquote, the I sell savior mindset. How is that fair to the women who can't get one husband? That's ridiculous. See what I'm saying? So the Philippines don't play that. They don't care. No, you get one husband, you're out. That's it. They take those vows seriously. That's regulated dating and mating. That's what it is. See? The vows say what? Till death do you part. Meaning what? Not because your husband died, you get to run off and go get two other husbands. Okay. That doesn't even make logical sense. I was looking that up today. Look up those vows. There's something called eternal. It's eternal. Meaning when you die, right, you still married. In the afterlife, that's when you're released. Now, I don't know if y'all believe in the Christian religion, but that's in the book. It talks about that. That you two are not separated until both of you die. Boom. Period. Now, if y'all don't have to live together, fair enough. But those vows, man, they mean something. Shout out to all my veterans out there. Y'all know where I'm going with this one. If you are a veteran, you still in the military. If you took an oath of commission or an oath of enlistment, you are still in the military. Boom. You better wake up. If you think that the United States government cannot call you back because you got a bad hip, think again. Look it up. It's already on the books. Now, what's the probability of them doing it? Probably not. I mean, who gonna want a bunch of cane walking? But you know what? There's a lot of men in canes and walkers willing to go. Saying, well, shit, hey, I'd rather go out doing something positive than sitting around dying slowly. You know why? Because when you take an oath of commission or an oath of enlistment, you take an oath for life. Boom. It's a blood oath. Look it up. It's in the UCMJ. A lot of guys don't understand that. You either what's called active duty or you are not, which is ready reserve. Your ready reserve is for life. I don't care what they tell you. If you served in the military, you can be called back at any time. Boom. Look that up. Look that up. If they say, hey, we gonna start conscription again, guess who goes first? All former military. Look that up. You are still in the military. No, you don't have a chain of command, meaning you don't have to salute, commission, and warrant officers. That's true. But if they say, hey, we calling up Sergeant such and such or Lieutenant or Captain, guess what? You better be ready to go. Now, obviously, it would take, a war for that to happen. So let's just be honest. They're not going to call you up because they want you to do traffic duty or redirect some BLM riot. No, come on. But you better believe it, brother. If missiles started flying on this country, you going back in. Why? Because you took a blood oath. You didn't just sign a contract. You took a blood oath before you signed the contract. Boom. It's a blood oath. Look that up. There's plenty of VFWs. If you go to the VFW, you have to stand at the position of attention when they bring the flag in, when they open a meeting. It's still paramilitary. They don't play around with that shit. It's not like being a cop. Being a cop, you're a civil servant. That's all it is. You are a civil servant. All right. You take a swearing to the Constitution as a civil servant. When you take the oath, as an enlistment or as an officer, meaning commission, or you take an enlistment, you're taking an oath to the Constitution. That's totally different. You become U.S. property of the government. I don't want to make this into a DD 214 conversation, but what am I trying to say? When you have rules and regulations, you take this stuff seriously. It's in law. And the Philippines is a good example of how they take marriage seriously. They don't allow divorce, period. It's in law. Now, why am I saying all this stuff? Because when I start talking about the concept of prevention, right? Preventing things, in order for you to prevent things, you have to put it in law. That's the only way you're going to prevent it. Why? Because you're going to be cleaning up the mess. Boom. Cleaning up is a reactionary thing. Now let's make this very clear. This is point number one. Cleaning up is a reactionary thing. You can be cleaning up from a natural disaster or just a basic accident. Accidents happen. Sometimes you walk outside and you drop your glass and you break it. So now you got to clean up glass. No big deal there. Sometimes sometimes Mother Nature gets a little rowdy with Father Time, you know. That's what we say down south. Rain is Mother Nature's tears. She's crying because Father Time told her no. Okay? No. They've been fighting for an eternity. That's what we say down south. Hurricanes are Mother Nature's being mad at Father Time. So sometimes Mother Nature gets crazy, and she don't like Father Time. And so what she goes on her rampage, and boom, you got to do some cleaning up. You got to pick up some poles. Shout out to the bucket men out there. Them electrical boys. People crying about they ain't got electricity. It's about to be summertime. AC blowing out everywhere now. Shout out to the AC men. They've been working like crazy in Southern California. AC is up, what, 200, 300% this year. Unbelievable. All right, so you can be cleaning up from an accident or you can be cleaning up from Mother Nature. All right, so that's not the reactionary thing I'm talking about. That's not a bad reaction. That's just life. But in dating and mating, you could be cleaning up from what? Having no prevention. That's bad. That's not good cleaning up. Why? Because you could have done something about it. You actually could have stopped it. Does that make sense? You could have said, look, we are not going to allow single mothers in this society. And you can put it in law, put policies in place, and that would stop single mothers from happening. You wouldn't have to clean up after them. See, a lot of women don't like when I talk like that. They get very pissed off because they automatically want to do what? Well, what about what the men do? Well, we're going to talk about what the men do, but we have to first acknowledge what you did. I had this guy on a panel one time. I'll never forget it. He tried to say that men make women sluts. That's what he said. And I said, that's impossible. How can a man make a woman a slut? We already outlaw sexual assault. It's on the books right now. If you force a woman to have, quote unquote, adult sexual actions with you, that is against the law. You will be sent to prison. And I support that 100%. On this channel, I support great laws. I don't support anybody forcing anyone to do anything with them at any time, period. So how is that a man can force a woman in our current society to be a slut, which is what? A non-virgin bride, a secret promiscuous woman. How can that be? If he forced her to have sex, that would be great. He would be prosecuted, correct? And the guy said, yeah, that's right. So if there are no charges against the man and he was not charged with rape, then what the hell you think happened? Guy got quiet. Started scratching his head like a monkey. Scratching his head and his belly. Couldn't answer that. Come on, people. This is not hard. This is not hard. But it goes back to the truth, which is what? Men and women are not equal. And that unequalness starts with how we view women. Boom. We got to view them as some kind of victim. We got to say it's got to be a man's fault when we skew towards women. The reality is she wanted to have sex with that man. She wanted to have unprotected sex. If she didn't, she would be filing for rape. Do you understand? If y'all think I'm lying, go on Google right now. There's a big push of women saying they don't want to use condoms. Women are doing that now. Okay, and you got a lot of men saying, hey, we need to start using condoms. Why? Because they don't want to pay child support. See what I'm saying? But you can't get to this stuff because you've been told a lie that we're equal and we're not. And every time you try to put in preventive measures, people fight it. You end up doing what? Reactionary cleaning up. Boom. That's the problem. In dating and mating, you can put in preventive measures to stop it for people to clean up after it. Yes, you can. Guess what? We had that win before the sexual revolution. We had measures in place to prevent women from becoming single mothers. We did. Guess what? Women threw that out. I told you, this is a funny subject. It's funny because it's like we're going in circles. It's ludicrous. So men ain't making women sluts and they're not making them single mothers. They wanted to have sex. Both of them did. Both of them wanted to have it. That's the end result. That's it. She opened her legs and she wanted him to orgasm inside of her. She wanted the possibility of her becoming a single mother. Boom! No way out of that. That's cold. So if you're not putting in preventive policies in dating and mating, you are reacting. When you are reacting, you are cleaning up. That's all we're doing now. That's why everybody's upset, because the men have decided to stop cleaning up the mess. Do you understand? They've stopped. They've said, we're done with this. We're not cleaning up after this stuff no more. We're not going to be marrying single mothers. We're not going to be taking care of children that are not ours. That's why everybody's mad. We're not going to be marrying OnlyFans and porn stars. My God, and strippers. It's bad out here. It's bad. I mean, these people, that's why they yelling at the passport bros. The passport bros have said, guess what? We out of here. We don't care what you say about us. Guess what? Give me that passport. I'm gone. You can call me whatever you want while you here, and I'll be over there on the beach talking about, yeah, I'll be all that on this beach doing it too. That's what's going on. They don't give a shit what you say about them. And I told people that's the most powerful thing that the passport bros have ever done. Once they said we can't fight the criticism, we just gonna have to accept it and keep going. That was the most powerful thing they have done yet. Boom. And now people are upset over it. They're all mad at the passport bros. Why? Because they don't want to clean up. They understand. I've said this about passport bros, and I'm going to say it again. They are some of the most intelligent group of men I've seen on this planet. I've even said, I'm going to say it again on the record, I think they're more intelligent than me. I'm saying that. You know why I think they're more intelligent than me? Because they've made the decision to not clean up the mess. And they've made the decision to not sit here and watch the mess. That's a pretty fucking intelligent position to be. I'm struggling with that right now. I am not a passport bro, as y'all know. But there are days where I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, my God, it ain't gonna get no better. It ain't gonna get no better. I know this. So why do I continue to stay? Well, it's because I want children. And that's just the cost. There's always a cost. The passport bros have accepted that cost. They know their children are most likely going to be foreigners. In some cases, not all. It's not, I don't think it's guaranteed that your child is an American just because you're an American. I think you have to be born at either a U.S. embassy or at a military base. I do believe that. All right, you have to be born on some formal military ground. Okay, don't quote me on that. I'm not an immigration specialist, so I really don't know. But that's why I won't become a passport bro, because I want my son, and yes, my son, I'm saying my son, I want my son to be a full-fledged American citizen. I don't want him to ever have any roadblocks. Right now, America's the top country on the planet. We can go wherever we want. We got the top money. It is what it is. And I want my son to have all those benefits. As far as my daughter, oh, I don't care what y'all say. Call it sexist. I don't give a shit. I wouldn't mind if my daughter was not an American citizen, to be honest with you. I think she would have a better time outside of America. Why? Because she'll be in a regulated system. And they're going to treat her with much more respect. American women don't treat each other with respect. And this society is pretty much done with them. And it ain't getting no better. So I have looked at it and I've said, I really wouldn't mind if my daughter was outside of America. To be honest with you, I actually wouldn't mind it because she probably would get a better deal overseas than she would here. I'm thinking in advance. I don't have one now, but I'm kind of thinking ahead. Bear with me. But see, I give them credit because they've already accepted that and they're gone. They're like, we don't care. We're gone. We're out of here. So be it. If that's the cost it takes for me not to be a cleanup man, so be it. So if you're not putting in preventive policies to stop the mess, you're just reaction. You're just cleaning it up. That's the first point. And right now on this day, I don't see anybody putting in preventive policies. All right. And so the men are saying we're not cleaning it up. That's the first point. The second point, the question is, when do you start? All right, let's say that this society decides to start putting in preventive policies. Let's say they say, we're going to put in some preventive policy. We're going to kind of try to tone this down because we got to get a handle on this. It might happen. I'm an optimist. I'm a realist, I should say. I'm not an optimist. I'm not a pessimist. And I'm not a nihilist. I'm a realist. I'm just saying it could happen. So the question would be, well, when does the preventive policy start? In my opinion, the preventive policy starts at virginity. It is what it is. You have to regulate women being virgin brides. It's just that simple. Call me an incel, call me misogynist. I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, if you look up the Institutes of Family Studies, they've done a whole bunch of studies on this. Virgin women have what? Lower divorce rates, higher success and happiness in marriage. Look it up. They have the best one. Look it up. It's all there. Don't let me just tell it to you. Go take a look for yourself. Virgin brides, and not virgin grooms. Boom. No, it's not equal. That's another thing. Because I'll throw that out there, and people in the past have said, well, what about men being virgin grooms? Historically speaking, and even to this day, in regulated societies, they don't require men to be virgin grooms. You have some very, one would say, obscure, and I don't want to say obscure because I really don't like to put negatives on people's religion. It's whatever they believe. I really don't want to say that. I'll just say religious people who are more strict in their doctrine. Let's just say that. All right, they might require men to be virgin grooms, and that's in all the religions, by the way. That's in Buddhism, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, all of them. There's always a sector of people who go a little more strict. I'll give you that. But generally speaking, meaning most true, if you look at all the religions, the major ones, they don't require men to be virgin grooms, but they absolutely require women to be virgin brides. Look that up. That's where the word traditional comes from. That's why I put in my book, the only woman who can call herself a traditional based conservative woman is a virgin bride. All non-virgin brides are not traditional based conservative women. That's impossible. See, I had to tell a girl that one time on another panel. I was on a panel with a bunch of pseudo religious people. I call them pseudo religious. They're funny dudes, but they act like they're religious. They're not. They doing porn and acid and smoking weed and looking at any porn. Those guys do all kind. They're incels, all kind of shit. All right, but I had to tell a girl who was on there to her face. I said, "Are you calling yourself a traditional conservative based woman?" She's like, "Yes." And I said, "On what grounds?" "Well, because I support the family." I said, "Ma'am, that's not what the traditional, classic, and well known historical definition of a traditional based conservative woman." And she was like, "Well, what are you talking about?" I said, "Have you even looked that up? Have you even looked up what a conservative, traditional based woman is?" Because I have. I know what it is. Have you? No, I haven't looked it up. I say that's the problem. If you look it up, it will tell you a traditional conservative based woman is considered what? A virgin bride. Boom. Look it up. That's well known, well documented. And they say it's closely related to religious doctrine, all that blah blah blah, all that good stuff. She got mad at me. She cussed me out. Well, I wasn't a virgin when I got married, but that doesn't, and then, ma'am, you can't call yourself a conservative woman. You're not. She got pissed off too. And then she said, what would you call a woman like me? I ended the conversation. I didn't want to tell her my other definition. Y'all know that definition. I didn't call her a slut to her face because I didn't want to get his channel flagged. But that's what she is. And if you're a non-virgin bride woman listening to my channel, I'm telling you to your face, not as a derogatory term, but as the definition. Look up the history of the word slut. Look that word up. See, y'all think I'm just trying to attack women or attack men. Most of the stuff I talked about, I did research on. Do y'all know when I was researching this stuff, I literally broke down in tears? I'm not ashamed to say that. I broke down crying because I was finding out stuff that was never told to me. I didn't know about shotgun weddings. I had no idea that was going on. See, no one never told me that. I had no idea that virgin brides had the best marriages. No one ever told me that. I had no idea where the word spinster came from. I had to do entomology research on that. Man, when you look into this stuff, it's going to make you cry. It's going to make you cry in happiness and sorrow. You're going to feel cheated as a man and as a woman. It is what it is. You're not going to look at all this dating and mating history and come out the same person. I didn't come out angry. I didn't come out angry at nobody, but I didn't come out the same person. I said, this shit is crazy. And what gave me a little bit of an edge after I came out was I realized that we actually had all this stuff. See, that's why they don't talk about this stuff. We had all these problems wrapped up. They were not happening. They were not. But it was who? The boomer women. This is historical fact. The boomer women said we don't want rules and regulations. Essentially, they said we want to be single mothers. We want to be divorced wives. We want to cheat on our husband before our wedding night. That's where the bachelorette party comes from. Look that up. They brought that into America. That ain't all over the world. They not doing that all over the world. Hell no. We gonna bring in a male stripper to be in front of your wife on her wedding night before her wedding day, and he gonna wave his dick in your wife's face, but she ain't want to touch it, you know? That came from the sexual revolution. Look up the bachelorette parties. My God, let me stop, man. Y'all have no idea why and none of these people on these podcasts, they will not talk about it. They're going to try to uno reverse it and blame it all on the men. It is what it is. So when I say the prevention has to start at virginity for women, that's the historical truth. That's how regulated dating works. That's why they have something called dowry prices, bride prices. That's why the man would have to bring something to the father. And I think it talks about in the Bible where if that woman's a non-virgin bride, the family, they surrender. The marriage is null and void. That's number one. And they have to give back the bride price, the dowry. That shit is serious. They're still doing that all over the world. Hell, in China, they still do that. And they got a shortage of women. Shout out to the Chinese. Shout out to them folks. Them motherfuckers made a bad mistake with that one-child policy, which I didn't agree with. But they got a shortage of women, and the men are still saying what? I want a virgin bride. I am not going to pay a bride price for a non-virgin bride. Look that up. They doing that in China right now. Look it up. See what I'm saying? So the prevention, now you would say, well, why is the virgin bride so key to prevention? Because it stops her from becoming a single mother, and then society has to clean up the mess. See, women always want to talk about the front end of dating and mating. What is the front end? Hooking up. Let's get fucked. Let's get blown out. You know, shit, we gonna go get it tonight. And they can get it. And they are doing that. They are getting it. But the problem is after they get it, that's where the problem happens. See, everybody always talks about how women can get sex easily and how women can screw as many men as they want and not love a man and all that stuff. And that is true. Women have proven that over the years. But here's the problem. Once she says this, once that woman say, I want that man to stay around, whatever that man is, the first man, the 100th man, the 50th man, the fourth man, once she says, I really like that man though, and I really want him to stay around, that is the beginning of the bad deal. Boom. In an unregulated society, no rules and regulations, once that woman looks at the man that she chose and she says, I want him to stay around, in a no regulated society, that woman has just found out the bad deal. Boom. You know why it's a bad deal? Because she has no power to keep him around. Boom. She ain't got nothing. There's not even a law that can keep that man around. What does the law says? You send the child support and that's it. Boom. You better believe it. I don't ever want to see you and that child. Here's the money. Don't contact me ever. Matter of fact, here's a restraining order. There's a lot of men doing it. Do I agree with it? No, I don't. I don't agree with that. I believe children should have both biological parents, not stepfathers. I believe that. But as it stands on this day, there's no law stopping men from doing it. That's it. He'll send a check, and a lot of men thinking that way. Oh well. All I gotta do is send a check to keep my freedom and my driver's license. So be it. And they don't give a shit about that kid or her. See, once she says she wants to keep him around in an unregulated society, she has now taken the bad deal. And now society has to do what? We have to clean up the mess. Women don't think about that. They don't care about the back end of girls' night out. They don't give a shit. See, the feminists told them, well, if you go out to girls' night out or the bachelor party or Jamaican trips or Cancun or Vegas trip, Vegas, whatever, Santa Barbara, OC, the Orange County, shout out to the OC. If you go out and do any of that stuff, ladies' night out, the bar across the street, and you turn up knocked up, don't worry about it. We got something for that. We got something what called what? Baby deletion. That's what the feminists said. After they told them give them birth control. And women did that. They followed that to the T. But society got tired of that. And I'm not trying to make this a debate about baby deletion versus not. But the bottom line is, when you're using baby deletion as a measure to clean up the actions of what could have been prevented, you're in cleanup, bro. That's a cleanup duty. That's why you want to what? Start it at the beginning. See, when you say, hey, we're going to do virgin brides, we're not doing all that. When that woman lay down for the first time and she bonds with that man physically, they're all going to do that. Right? When she get up, and if it was good or bad, oh well. You got him. He's there now. That's it. That's your husband. Done deal. We ain't got to worry about you. Ship her off. That's it. Done. See? That's what we had in place. Women didn't like that. I didn't like my first time with him. He was too much of a minute man. Or his dick was too small. He didn't make me come. My first time was awful. I don't want to marry this man. I'll go out there, look, man, screw all that marriage stuff. I'll go out there and get it myself. I'm gonna go find a man that can make this pussy come. That's what they talk like now. And they do that. They go from the first man to the second man to the third man to the fourth man to the fifth man. Boom, they got to the 10th man. Oh, the 10th man made her come. Uh-oh, he got her. She coming back too. Woo. 2 times, 3 times. Uh-oh, we in what? A situationship. Oh, boy. And we tell ourselves, well, I can juggle him. I can keep him on my roster because he makes me come. And I can be with these other men that do all these other things for me, like pay my bills, fix my car, be an emotional tampax. But what she failed to realize is the man that making her come is the man. And that's going to be the one she say, I might want to keep him around. The second she says that, she is now taking the bad deal. And all that coming gonna create something. Something gonna come out of all that. We all know. Now I'm pregnant. He didn't want to stay around. He just using me up. He just beating it up. That's what he was. They call it a fuck boy. Ain't that what they say? Uh-oh. Now society got to do something with this woman. Look up the outcomes of single mothers. We had a measure in place to prevent this. It was virgin brides. Women said they don't want to do that. That's where we are today. So that's the second point. If you're going to do the prevention, it has to start at virginity for women. There's no other way out of that. And the last point, and it's kind of a summation of the first 2 points, right? Meaning, if you're going to be constantly reacting or you want to stop reacting, and if you want to start preventing the mess, meaning start saying virgin brides, then you need to make a choice. That's the last point. It's time for us to make a choice. This situation is not going to get better, y'all. I'm not a doomer. I'm not. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how long we can survive. I don't know. I really, truly don't know. I've done a lot of research on this. Shout out to a man called J.D. Unwin. J.D. Unwin talked about how, I think he said 4 generations. I think he said maybe 4 or 5 generations, where when you take the strict rules or the strict culture of monogamy, when you remove that, the men start wasting time, gamification of getting women. That's what looks maxing is all about. A lot of the game dudes will keep coming up with new methods that have been tried over and over and over again. Men wasting time trying to get a woman. When men start doing that, the society starts going in decline. Starts falling apart. I don't know on this day. I truly don't. I don't know how long we can survive. I don't know, but we need to make a choice. As much as the passport bros, they made their choice. They're gone. They're like, we out of here. We're taking our resources and our efforts and our labor, and we out of here. We don't want nothing to do with this. And I can't blame them for it. God bless the passport bros. As I've said, they're more intelligent than me. They are. I'm saying that on this day. I'm not going to deny that. Because they understand that too. They see it. They're like, I don't know how long this ship gonna last. Maybe I'm the stupid one. Maybe I'm the guy that ain't getting that the ship is taking on water and we're sinking. I don't know. But we got to make a choice, y'all, because we can't keep doing this cleaning up stuff. It's not going to work. The cleanup men have left. They gone. I'm not cleaning up the mess. I'm here, but I'm not cleaning up. I'm not taking no single mother. It ain't gonna happen. I don't even look their way. I've had beautiful girls come on to me in Southern California. When I hear single mother, I'm gone. When I hear over the age of 27, I'm gone. I've never dated a woman over the age of 27. I've had a casual fling with one woman who was 30 in Atlanta, Georgia. That was it. It lasted about 2.5 months. That's it. I've never had a serious relationship with a woman over the age of 25. I've never done it. All my women were 18 to 25, and I'm in my 40s, and my last girlfriend was 22. I know she was 21. Okay, I don't date women over the age of 25. I don't. That's why I don't complain about older women. Do you see me bitching and moaning about older women? No, I don't. They're not even on my menu. There's a lot of men online complaining about older women. I'm like, the complaints y'all have is what comes with older women. Do you get it? Why are you complaining about stuff you choosing to do? How you gonna expect an older woman to not have bad credit? How you gonna expect the older woman to have a low body count? How you gonna expect the older woman to drop it like it's hot? Because when she drop it, it might not come back up, you know? She might need a girdle to hold it up. I mean, Jesus Christ, how can you expect an older woman to have a fertility? Boom. My wife won't conceive. Yeah, you chose her when she's 30 and older. That's perimenopause. Look it up. 90% of her eggs are gone. Now think about that. 90% of her age are gone at age 30. She's been on birth control for 20 something years. Do you see what's going on here? You get it? Look up the medical issues coming with women coming off birth control. Look at them, causing them to be sterile, infertile, difficulty conceiving children. All this is, I'm telling y'all this because a choice has to be made. It's funny, I laugh about it. I try to laugh about it as much as I can, as y'all can see, but it's a serious subject. We're either going to be preventing things or we're going to be cleaning up, one or the other. See, you can clean up after Mother Nature because that's Mother Nature. You can clean up after an accident. I walk outside, my dog jump on me, I drop my cup of coffee. It happens. That's an accident. You don't have to be cleaning up after single mothers. That's not an accident. You get it? That's not an accident. That can be prevented. And we have done that before. And it's all over the world. Look at those other countries. Those other countries, they don't deal with single mothers because they don't allow it to happen. Do you get it? They don't allow it to happen. Now, some of y'all gonna say, Alpha, it sounds like pain. Sounds like you want to limit women's sexual agency. That's not fair. That's not equal. My response is, that is life. Boom. That's life. Life ain't fair. No. Men and women are not equal. No, we're not. I'm saying it. You don't have to go around and say, oh my God. I'm saying that's the cost that it requires for us to what? Prevent the mess. Prevention, prevention, prevention. In order for us to prevent the mess, we got to limit your sexual agency. That's what the sexual revolution has proved. The sexual revolution has been going on for 70 years. It has proven one thing, that women cannot make responsible decisions in dating and mating that benefits society as a whole. Boom. You can't do it. You had 70 years to prove that you can make good decisions. You had 70 years to do it. And we now know the results. That's one of those hard things of life that we have to accept. Those other countries, they understand this. They're older than us. Remember, we're a young country. What? We're celebrating 250 years. Egypt has been on this planet for what, 20 something dynasties. China's been around for what, I don't know, 10 something dynasties. Don't quote me on that. The Middle East, they've split it up multiple times, but it's still the same people. They're old. India, they're old, old country. Yeah, they don't have all the latest missiles and boomstick, as they say, but goddamn it, they know dating and mating. They're not dealing with single mothers. They don't have high divorce rates. Child support is non existent. Why? Because fathers take care of their children. They don't have alimony. Why? Because they don't need divorces. You get it? We are the most powerful country on the planet. We have the most money on the planet, most political power, most guns, and we got the biggest dicks. Allegedly. Now, I think it's Colombia. Shout out to Colombia. I heard they hung like horses down there. Look it up. That's on the statistics. Look it up. And yet we got the highest divorce rate, the highest rate of single mothers, highest infidelity rate, most children born out of wedlock. We invented the term baby daddy, baby mama. Boom. A choice has to be made. Are we going to prevent prevention versus cleaning up? That's the choice. If y'all don't want to prevent it, then I'm going to tell men don't clean it up. You understand? I'm saying it right now, making it very plain. I'm not calling for a rebellion. I'm not calling for no violence. I'm not calling for anarchy. I'm not calling for any domestic terrorism. No violence. None whatsoever will ever be said on this channel. Ever. I'm not calling for a handmaid's tale. None of that stuff. I'm simply asking the question. If you don't want to prevent all these bad outcomes from happening, then I'm going to tell men to stop cleaning up the mess. Just that simple. I'm going to teach men through e-waste art, like you see on the stream, and I'm going to give them tips to survive the unregulated dating system that we're under. That's why I call it e-waste dating tips. The tips are for the unregulated system. They're not for the regulated system. I have a few tips in the book for the regulated system, but most of those tips are centered around people who want to be rebellious. And it's mostly centered on how to maintain the regulated system. Most of the tips I talk about in the book is for us. Because we ain't got no rules and regulations. There is none. There's no rules and regulations. Anything goes. Anything can happen. It is what it is. So don't question my methods. My methods are all fully legal. I have talked with multiple lawyers about them. And I've talked with lawyers and asked them, is anything that I'm teaching will be illegal in the future? They've all said no. Now, I've also asked my lawyers and consultants and people, is what I'm teaching unethical to you? And they was all say, yep, I don't like what you're teaching. They've all told me that. I don't like what you're teaching. It's unethical and it's immoral. They've all said that. I'm saying it right now. But guess what they would say after that? It's not illegal. I'm going to say that again. What I'm teaching, the tips that I'm teaching men, and it's centered on men, a few for women, but it's mostly men. A lot of you are going to say, Alpha, these tips are immoral. They are unethical. I don't support them. That's fine. That's your choice. I'm not here to debate that. My response to you is it illegal? Is it illegal? If it is, I'll update my tips. I'll stop teaching them. Far as I know, it's not illegal to lie. You can tell a woman you love her just to get sex with her and be gone the next day. That's not illegal. Might be immoral, not illegal. It's not illegal to bring a woman to your house for Thanksgiving. Let her cook your family dinner. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Go through all that act of family stuff. Oh, yeah. Even buy her a Bentley. And then tell her, I'm never going to be exclusive with you. Ever. So forget it. You're going to have to share me. That's not illegal. Some of y'all think that was immoral. You know who I'm talking about. It was unethical. Some people say that, but it's not illegal. You understand what I'm saying? I might teach men to say, hey, if you're not fucking a woman and if you're not working with a woman, meaning making money with her, a co-worker, you shouldn't have her in your life. That includes your own family. Fucking or money. That's it. There's no gray area. That's it. No friend zone, no acquaintances, none of that shit. Every woman you see me in person, you better believe I'm either making money with her or I'm fucking her. I don't do both with women. I just don't do that. If she's making money with me, I'm not trying to fuck her. She's my coworker. I'll defend her to the day I die because that's my money. There's a lot of women I make money with. I don't want nothing to do with them. And they know it. They'll say that's the one guy on this planet that will not have sex with me. Absolutely. Because that's my money. I don't mix business with my pleasure. I don't do it. But if she's not my coworker or working for me, you better believe I'm beating it up. You see her in public with me, I'm beating it up. Now, obviously, if she's my relative, that's a given. So please don't try to Uno and outlier that. Okay? If I'm walking with my sister, come on now. But if she's my relative, there's no reason for a man to be around a woman in an unregulated dating mating society. There isn't. There's no benefits to being a woman's friend. Period. Is it illegal to not have women as friends? Absolutely not. Some people say it's immoral. Some people say it's unethical. That's fine. The point I'm trying to make is ethics and morals is subjective. It always has, it always will be. Look that up. What you think is unethical and immoral is not what the next person thinks. I know women who have literally cuckolded their husbands. And I'm not talking about sexual fetish cuckoldry. I'm talking about parental cuckoldry. They got fucked by other men and never told their husband that that's not his child. They don't lose a wink of sleep at night. None of it. Is it unethical? Most of you probably say yes. Is it immoral? Most of you probably say yes. Is it illegal? In some states it is, in some states it's not. Paternity fraud is illegal in some states, not in all. Not in all of them. See what I'm saying? Ethics and morals is subjective. There's no objective ethics, there's no objective morality. Period. What somebody think is right or wrong doesn't mean the next person do. Now, what is objective, regardless if you like it or not, is the law. The law says you cannot force someone to have sexual intercourse with you, which I support. That has no bearing on whether you agree with that or not. That's the law. The law says you cannot steal from people. You can't steal your ex-boyfriend's debit card and go out and charge it all up out of a revenge because you caught him cheating on you with an Instagram model. That's against the law. You will go to jail. That's theft. Some people might say, shit, she deserved that. Hell has no fear like a woman scorned. People say that, right? So what? He cheated on her. He deserved that. That's what people will say. He deserved it. So what if she went out and spent all his money? Who gives a shit? He cheated on her, and that's what he deserved. That's your ethical and moral position. I can't challenge that. But guess what? The law says you're wrong. She's going to jail. She took his money and went and stole it and spent it without his permission. That is theft 101. Look it up. Petty larceny, if you want to be technical, petty theft. There's been cases of men and women where they do something called a crime of passion. Look that up. It's both sides have done it. Crimes of passion. There's a case about, I think about 10 years ago. There's a woman, and I don't know, I got to look it up. Her husband was a dentist. I believe he was a dentist. And I think she found out that he was cheating on her. Or he may have found out that she was cheating on him. I don't really know. I know it was a very unique situation. I think he found out that she was cheating on him, right? And instead of her facing the music, she ran him over with her car. She ran him over multiple times. It wasn't no one time accident. She hit him, drove reverse over him, put it in forward over him again, put it in reverse over him again. She ran him over. I don't know the results of that case. I don't know if she was charged with murder or manslaughter, but it was called a crime of passion. A crime of passion. Crime of passion is strictly dealing with dating and mating. Some people, I remember that case. Some people said, what? She had every right to do it. That's what some people were saying in the comment section. Some people said she's wrong for doing that. She was wrong for cheating on her husband, and she was wrong for running him over. That's just unethical, immoral. That's what they said. The law says you can't do it. I don't know if she was charged with manslaughter or if she was charged with murder. I got to look up the results on that. Some of y'all can take a look at that case. It's a very famous case. I think he was a dentist and she ran him over like 2 or 3 times. It was a crime of passion. The point I'm making is that there's always going to be somebody that don't agree with you on any issue. That's just the way life is. Ethics and morals is subjective. Ethics and morals is subjective. You are not going to agree with everyone, and everyone's not going to agree with you, especially in dating and mating. But the law is objective. The law says we don't care if you like it or don't like it. You have to do this or you can't do this. That's all it is. So all the tips that I teach is to prevent, keyword prevention, to prevent men from doing what? Cleaning up the mess. They are all fully legal. I've checked it. They are all fully legal. Nobody's going to get arrested from what I'm teaching. But I'm not going to promise you that you're going to keep all your friends. Some of you going to lose some close friendships. You might even lose your family members. I'm not going to deny that. I'm saying it right now. When you're trying to prevent yourself from becoming a cleanup man, you better be ready to lose all your friends. That guy who brought that girl to the Thanksgiving dinner and brought her a Bentley and then told her, I'm never going to be exclusive with you, he lost a lot of friends. He absolutely lost a lot of friends. But guess what? He ain't got to be a cleanup man. If he would have took that woman, that would have been a rotten deal if I ever seen one on this planet. Boom. That woman is an awful deal for any man on any level. See what I'm saying? I'll end it on this. We're going to talk about this on the next one. In order for you to do the E-Ways dating tips, I'm just giving you a preview. You got to have a strong backbone. Got to have a strong backbone. Absolutely. If you want to know what I'm talking about, the concept of a strong backbone, look up that Cheesecake Factory case. Look that up. The cheesecake date, remember that? And that guy was in that Tesla. I think either he was a Latino brother or Indian brother. He was with a sister, American woman. She showed up late to the date. Y'all all know the story. Everybody missed this, but I caught it and I did a video on it on my last channel because I had a channel terminated. Y'all do know that, right? This is my second channel. All right, and this time I don't care if they terminate this one. This is going on BitChute, Rumble, so I'm on multiple platforms. Y'all can find me over there if they kick me off YouTube. That's fine. I'm not going to censor myself anymore. But that Cheesecake Factory, that brother, that woman showed up late, and she thought she was going to grill him out. She thought she really had one. He started showing her, she said, well, why are you taking me to the Cheesecake Factory? He gave her the rundown. It's called the rundown. He gave her the rundown. He pulled out his phone and said, let me show you something. Because she asked. He said, let me show you why. He said, you see this place? I had this place booked for us. And she said, yeah, that's where you should have took me. He said, yeah, I had that place booked for us, but your ass showed up late. And since you showed up late, I'm taking you to the Cheesecake Factory. We either going there or I'm taking you home. Boom. Looked her in her eyes and said that. Strong backbone on camera. Look that up. That man said his DMs was flooded with women. See, they thought the Uno hyena males who ain't got no spine, they thought that man was going to lose attention from women. No, he showed that strong backbone and had women in his DMs, flooded his DMs, telling him, take me. That's the kind of man I want. They don't tell you about the backbone, but I'm going to tell you about it on this channel. That's a preview to what's coming down the pipe. Takes a strong backbone to look a woman in the eyes and say you showed up late. It's going to be the Cheesecake Factory or nothing. That man didn't change his mind. Man had a backbone full of steel. And everybody commended him for it. He didn't even have to raise his voice. Go back and look at that video. He didn't even raise his voice. That's a strong backbone man. He didn't shout with her. His tone didn't change. He told her while he was driving that car, I would never want to hurt you. I totally respect you. And I would want it to do the best for you. But you showed up late. And since you showed up late, you wasted my time. Now, he didn't say that, but I'm adding it. And I'm taking you to the Cheesecake Factory. She got quiet. Go back and look at that channel. That woman got quiet as a mouse. She knew she was dealing with a full blown, strong backbone man. That man was not compromising. He didn't care how attractive she looked to him. A lot of people try to rag on that woman's beauty. Look, fellas, whatever men like, that's what they like. There's a lot of men out there that like that ghetto look. It is what it is. They like project girls. It is what it is. They like the ratchet women. It is what it is. That man didn't let his small head control his big head. He put her ass out and took her ass home. That's a strong backbone, and he got rewarded for it. Everybody gave him props and they put her down. She thought when she taped it, if she put it on TikTok, that she was gonna get celebrated and he was gonna embarrass. No, the world told her every man needs to have a strong backbone like him. He ain't have to raise his voice. He ain't have to threaten her with nothing. He told her, I'm sending you home. You showed up late. You're wasting my time. I'm taking you home. Take it or leave it. He was not going to clean up the mess. You understand? He prevented it. He was preventing that. He already had it in his mind. This woman don't show up on time. I'm not cleaning it up. She got to go. That's a preview, y'all. Put a period in that. I'm going to come back to that. We're going to talk about the strong backbone, the backbone method. I put that in the book. Strong backbone is greater than game. I'm going to say that again. A strong backbone is greater than game. Game will get you the woman. A strong backbone will keep her around. I'm going to say that again. Game will get you the woman. A strong backbone will keep her around. All right? All right, y'all. Let me end it right there. Hope it wasn't too long. It's me, it's your boy, A11 Media Production. Alpha the first one. The channel is called E-Ways Dating Tips, or A11 E-Ways Dating Tips, or E-Ways Dating Tips by Alpha the First One. Just type in any of that stuff, okay? You can type in Alpha the First One, E-Ways Dating Tips, or A11 Media Production. I'm on multiple platforms. Odyssey, Kick, Stream, YouTube, BitChute. My God, all of them, okay? I'm on all of them, all right? Shout out to all the night shift. Shout out to the graveyard shift. I'll never forget about you. I never will, because I am you. And for all the trolls, I love you too. Shout out to my trolls. And for everybody else that I forgot, peace.